We are starting a brand new chapter, and I'm super excited because up until this point we've been working with just adding, subtracting, and place value. But today we're starting a new chapter and we get to learn about money. So that's super exciting because money is very important to our ability to function in our society. We have to use money to purchase items, and we have to use money to get the necessities like food and water and shelter. And so you're going to want to know about money as you become older so that you can provide those things. So today our lesson is on pennies, nickels, and dimes. And our essential question is, how do I count and use money? Our problem of the day is a review problem. It says Mandy has 93 paper clips. She gives 76 paper clips to Amy. She gives 12 paper clips to her brother. How many paper clips does Mandy have left? So this is going to be a two-step problem because there's two parts to it. We've got 93, she gives away 76, she gives away 12, and we want to know how many she has left. So start with 93, take away 76. I have more on the floor, so I've got to go next door, regroup, 10 more. 13 minus 6 is 7, 8 minus 7 is 1. So she's got 17 paper clips after she gives 76 to Amy. But we're not done because then she gives 12 to her brother. So now we need to take away 12 more. 7 minus 2 is 5. 1 minus 1 is 0. So Mandy has 5 paper clips left over. Okay, let's practice subtracting across our zeros. This was a tricky concept that we learned in our last unit. We know we have more on the floor, so we've got to go next door, but there's nothing next door, so we have to go next door again. We're going to go all the way over to that 6. We're going to take 100 and break it into 10 tens. But we still don't have enough on top to regroup in the ones place. So we're going to cross out our 10. This becomes 9. And now we have 10 ones that we can subtract. So 10 ones minus 9 ones is 1. 9 minus 4 equals 5. And 5 minus 2 equals 3. Remember, another way that we can do this is by putting a box around the hundreds and tens and thinking, what's 1 less? 1 less than 80 is 79. Regroup the 10, 5, 1, and 4. So that's an option 2. I'm going to go do the other one again. So 4, 10, cross it out, 9, 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 6 is 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. And again, I'll box these in. 1 less than 20 is 19, which will give you the correct numbers up there. 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 3 is 6. 1 minus 1 is 0. So this one is just 66. 200 boys took swimming lessons last year. This year, 123 boys took swimming lessons. How many more boys took swimming lessons last year than this year? So once again, we have to go all the way to our hundreds because we have more on the floor, more on the floor. We're going to cross that out, take 100, break it into 10 tens, take a 10, 9 left, break it into 10 ones. 10 minus 3 is 7, 9 minus 2 is 7, so 77 more boys took swim lessons this year. Okay, so we are going to practice counting some coins today, and the first step in that is that we need to know what these coins are and how much they are worth. So let's look here first. There we go. This is a dime, this is a nickel, and this is a penny. Oops, goodbye penny. Okay, so a penny is worth 1 cent. It's the smallest form of currency that we have. This is, actually let's change these so that they're in order of their amounts. This one is a little confusing because the next one is a nickel, and it's worth 5 cents. But notice that the dime is smaller than the nickel, but it's worth 10 cents. And that has to do with what it's made out of. It's the material that it's made out of is worth a little bit more, kind of like gold is worth more than silver. So we have 1 cent the penny, 5 cents nickel, and 10 cents for our dimes. It says Francis has 3 dimes. 1, 2, 3. 1 nickel and 3 pennies. Now, when we are counting money, we always want to start with the bigger coins first, or the bigger amounts first, and then go to the smaller ones, because it's easier to add bigger numbers first and then add on smaller numbers than to go the opposite way. So I put these in order of worth the most to worth the least, and now we can count up how much we have. So we have 10. So this is 10, 10, 10, 5, 1, 1, 1. So 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 10 is 30. 30 plus 5 is 35, plus 1, 36, 37, 38. So she has 38 cents. It says, Paola makes purchases as shown in the table. Show the coins that she could use to pay. Use the coins to display the values. So this one could look a little bit differently for everyone, because you might choose a different combination of coins to make that amount. For example, with 27, you could do 27 pennies, right? Or you could do a couple of nickels and the rest pennies, or 1 nickel and the rest pennies, or 1 dime and the rest pennies. I'm going to start with I'm going to try to do it in the least amount of coins, okay? So 27, I'm going to start with 10, 20, so 2 dimes, and then I need to get to 7, which would look like 5, 6, 7. So the one combination, the one with the least amount of coins that Paola could have, unless you're using a quarter. I should mention that. A quarter has 25 cents, but we're only looking at pennies, nickels, and dimes today. With these 3 types of coins, though, the least amount we could use is 2 dimes, 1 nickel, and 2 pennies. That equals 27 cents. Let's do the same thing with 48. Again, not using the quarter, just the nickels, dimes, and pennies. So 48, 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, and then we need to get to 48, 46, 47, 48. Okay, and I know I needed 4 dimes because 4 groups of 10, right? 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 40. Okay, and then 34, 10. Oh, I don't know why it always does that to me. 10, 20, 30. Now I can't use a nickel because it's too much, so I've got to use my pennies. 34. Now, like I said, we could do this in a different way, but that's the easiest way in my opinion. Okay, so we are going to practice counting cents. When we have dimes, we count by tens because it's worth 10 cents. When you have a nickel, it's worth 5 cents, so you're going to count by fives. And when you have a penny, it's worth 1 cent, and you're going to count by ones. Now, I do want to point out that coins, if you've ever looked closely at coins, they have a front side and a back side. Sometimes we call that heads and tails. And so you may see a coin and you're not sure which one it is. If you flip it over, it'll help you a little bit. For example, this one here on the penny says 1 cent. So that tells you how much. Same thing here on the nickel, it says 5 cents. And then this one is the smallest one, so it's kind of the easiest one to recognize, but it's the 10 cents. So that can help you as well if you're not quite sure. But let's practice. So if we have 2 dimes, that's 10, 20. If we had 2 nickels, 5, 10. And 2 pennies, 1, 2. Okay, so we're going to start with the coin that has the greatest value. Like I said before, that's going to be easier for us to count on with the smaller numbers. Now, I suggest, especially at the beginning here, writing the amount on the top of how much they're worth. That way you kind of can keep track of how much you need to add on. So we have dime, dime, nickel, nickel, penny, penny. So 10, 10, 5, 5, 1, 1. And then as I'm counting on, this is 10, 20. 20 plus 5 is 25. 25 plus 5, 30. 30 plus 1 is 31. 31 plus 1 is 32. So total we have 32 cents. I recommend doing this first step here. That way you can keep track as you go. Okay, so let's do some practice together. Will you open up your MyMath book to page 484, and we're going to do 2 problems together. So this one says count to find the value of your coins. This first one is a dime. How much is a dime worth? 10 cents. The second one is a nickel. How much is that worth? 5. And the penny. So 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 plus 1 is 16, so total we have 16 cents. The cents sign is a C because cents is spelled with a C. It's a C with a line through it. That means cents. So we have 16 cents. Now number 2, let's write our values on the top and then we'll count on. So dime is 10, 10, 10. Nickel, nickel, penny. So 10, 20, 30. 30 plus 5 is 35. 35 plus 5 is 40. 40 plus 1 is 41 cents. How many dimes are equal to 70 cents? So how many dimes would we need to make 70 cents? Well, dimes, remember, are worth 10 cents. So if we take 10 cents and we count by tens, let's see how many it takes us to get to 70. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So 7 dimes is going to equal 70 cents. You're going to go in and practice counting your coins on page 485 and 486. Post your pictures to schoolwork when you're